Hello everyone, and thank you for joining our Wikipedia talk. Before to start, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Volha Litvinets. I am from Belarus and currently I am a PhD student at Sorbonne University. I work on applied ethics, especially artificial intelligence ethics in the digital marketing field. I am also a digital marketing specialist and former United Nations disarmament intern. Today I will be talking about a special Women in the Ethics project, Wikipedia project. You know, Wikipedia is a powerful resource and a great example of collaboration, but the gender bias on Wikipedia still exists. In 2020, there is only 18% of women biographies in English Wikipedia. Women in the Ethics Collective, led by Mia Dent, annually is sorting the 100 brilliant women in the ethics list. Only a third part from this list are represented on Wikipedia. Together with Wiki Project Women in Red, we created a special red link list. On this list, you can find all the related information about women in the ethics and the list of women we need to create pages, and you can also participate. We support this spirit of collaboration. Our goal is to increase the representation of women working on AI ethics on Wikipedia. Thank you very much for your attention. Please join us and let's continue this discussion and let's increase the diversity on Wikipedia. And now I'm giving the word to my Wikipedia project fellows, Eryk Salvaggio and Jessie Jones. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Eryk Salvaggio, and it's a real honor to be here. I promised I would take just 2 minutes to talk about our Women in Ethical AI Wikipedia initiative, so let's go. First, why? Wikipedia is the foremost knowledge resource on the planet. If you search Google for a name or a thing, you're probably going to end up on Wikipedia, and if you aren't, there's a good chance you'll find a small box on the search listings with pictures and a brief biography. Well, that comes from Wikipedia too. So Wikipedia is really one of the most important sources of information on the planet. Here's the problem. Wikipedia's editors, the people who write the articles, are all a lot like me. That is, white, Western-educated men. Sadly, that means content about women is vastly underrepresented. It can also mean that information about justice issues, feminist issues, and ethics issues may not be represented with the diversity that you'd expect. For example, there was no article about algorithmic bias on Wikipedia until 2017, and that's when I decided to write it. Since then, it's been read by about 104,000 readers. Of course, that's just me writing that article, and I'm who I am, and I bring a certain perspective. So I'd like to say and encourage for everyone to get involved in writing Wikipedia. And anyone can write a Wikipedia article. You just have to follow a few basic rules. One of them is that you can't write articles about yourself or contribute original research. And you have to reach what's called Notability Standards, which are based on third-party coverage of you or your work. It's helpful if you can show 3 independent fact-checked articles that have been created about you or your topic of interest. And of course, this introduces bias problems of its own. So we've created a list of women in ethical AI to try to combat some of this bias and to incorporate more people and more sources and just more ideas. We invite you to check it out and add new names or relevant content to the list. The list is on Wikipedia, but it's not an article. So if you want to add a link or a resource, an interview with yourself or a colleague, go ahead. Then that can serve as a resource for creating new articles on Wikipedia about your work, your colleagues, your research, your organization, or even you. I really encourage everyone who's interested in getting knowledge out there to check into the resources that we'll share today and to get involved in enriching the diversity of perspectives about issues in ethical AI as they're presented on Wikipedia. More than just biographies, the site is one of the best ways possible to educate the public on complex, difficult, and novel problems emerging in the development of these new technologies. Thanks for inviting me here today, and thanks to the Wikipedia Women in Red project for taking on this project and working to expand the number of articles about women on Wikipedia. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Hi there, my name is Jessie Jones. I'm a proud member of Women in AI Ethics, and I'm humbled to have known Mia Dan for a number of years. Lately, I've been engaged in the Wikipedia project, spearheaded by Volha Litvinets, who has been incredible in teaching me how to do this. So our goals have been to help rank some great women who have paved the way in identifying data harms in the realm of AI and collaborating on and developing solutions to minimize these harms, especially as increasing tech automation perpetuates its spread. So what's been really clear to me through my experience in this Wikipedia project is the platform's relentless editing of members' content to ensure valid sources and to make sure that we're really vigilant in complying towards a lot of their stated rules. So as much as this group of women has been identified for their work in AI and ethics, looking for legitimate sources that are Wikipedia friendly is like looking for a needle in a haystack. So for me, that means that as much as we know about how much of this amazing work has been done, much of it still remains in our bubble, and it has yet to reach the mainstream audience. This is the plight of being pioneers, I believe, in this area. So it presents also an opportunity for each of us to support each other, to elevate members of this community through content. That means writing, speaking, podcasting about each other, for each other, and helping the ranking process for the Women in AI Ethics. This is already happening, but we need to be a little bit more, I'd say, aggressive in accelerating this so the world will know what we're contributing. I applaud Mia Dan for leading this vision of creating a platform to elevate women in AI ethics, and for Olga for her ambition in this undertaking. Now it's up to all of us to bring this all to light. Thank you.